First thing I felt was that strange cold sweat of terror. Clover and Tenmyuji. Handcuffed together? What happened? What happened to Clover's bracelet? Oh, her fingers bloody as well. My stomach clenched in protest, pushing a wave of bile and nausea into my throat. The lead ball turned into ice, and my legs began to tremble under its weight, before they finally gave way and collapsed. They were dead. I could feel it the moment I looked at them, but I didn't want to believe it. They couldn't be dead. Perhaps they were just sleeping. The cool, limp feel of their skin under my shaking fingers dashed and healed my head left. I wrapped a trembling hand around the edge of the bed and hauled myself up onto it. Even when I closed my eyes, I could still see them. Ugh, shivers. My heart hammered away at my ribs, and my chest felt so tight I could barely breathe. It's that chord that happens when you see the dead body, when it just goes bring, and now the music is just intense. I forced myself to take long, deep breaths. Finally, I opened my eyes.
They were in a blind spot.
What?
The security camera. Remember how we didn't see anything in the real-time feed in the security room?
Because they're in the blind spots. Yeah. I guess the partition was in the way.
Yeah.
They're handcuffed together.
Yeah. Whoever did this really didn't want them going anywhere.
Kept prisoner?
The chain's been looped around the pipe below the sink.
Yeah, there was no going anywhere with these guys unless they broke that pipe. They would have been trapped here when the doors closed. Why?
Look. See the red marks on their wrists? They were trying to get the handcuffs off.
Yeah. So you're saying it wasn't one of them that did this? So, okay, what happened then? We saw Clover running around about 50 minutes before the doors closed. She's here. Somewhere in that 50 minutes, she ended up in this position. Kay's got quite a bit of an alibi. Didn't someone go to the infirmary? No. Kay said he didn't want to go to the infirmary. He didn't want to take Luna there because he was scared she was going to die on the way. He needed to provide immediate medical attention, so he didn't take her to the infirmary. And then I was like, dude, you could have just taken them to the infirmary. Why was that? Is it because he knew that these guys were in there trapped?
Probably not.
Okay. There's a cut on Tenmyuji's left hand. It looks like it's probably from a knife or something similar. Must have been deep. Was he defending himself? And it got cut? Surely that's not self-inflicted. There's no reason to, unless you're infected.
Then the blood on his clothes probably came from that wound. I don't see any others, at least.
That's his bracelet. I was wondering, like, what that is. What those marks were.
If this was the only one, it doesn't look fatal. I don't think he died from this cut.
No. He must have been poisoned. The penalty. When the primary doors closed, they couldn't get to them. The needles in their bracelets activated, and...
Yeah.
So they weren't murdered, like, you know, directly. They were murdered by way of them not making it to the white chromatic doors in time.
You can see the marks on their wrists from where they were injected.
Okay, good. So that means they were injected. I was about to say, it could have been there because the bracelet was primed, ready to inject at any moment.
The tubicurine must have killed them.
Do you think that's why they were handcuffed to the sink?
They wouldn't have been able to get through the white doors without Quark. Someone wanted to use the penalty to kill them. They didn't need to tie them up.
Very true. Quark's missing. Yeah, you've got a point. What's wrong?
I take back what I just said.
You find something?
Yeah.
Phi bent down to pick something up and handed it to me. A cyan bracelet. With the number 9 on it. It's off. As in, it's not attached to someone's wrist. This was Quark's.
Correct. It has 9 BP, too. There's no mistake.
What is Quark's bracelet doing here? Wait, no. hold on. If Quark's bracelet is here, then that means...
Your heart stops. Your bracelet comes off.
Exactly. No. No. This can't be happening. Not Quark.
Hey, Sigma, calm down. Just because his bracelet's off doesn't mean Quark's dead.
Could have found a workaround. But...
In fact, this could be good news. A ray of hope.
Ray of hope?
Yeah. If Quark still had his bracelet on, then he would have ended up like Tenmyoji and Clover.
Right.
But he's not wearing it.
Which means he couldn't have been poisoned. But... You know, how did it come off? Is he dead? Did he stop his heart and he get the defibrillator to restart it after the bracelet, you know, unbuckles?
That means he might have managed to avoid getting injected with tubocurarine.
You mean the bracelet came off before the doors closed?
Yeah.
That's impossible. Zero Jr. told us that they only come off when your heart stops or when you escape.
Maybe he got out then.
No, because there was that huge announcement every time the number 9 door is. This is gigantic fanfare. It stops me every time, but everyone else manages to escape. So that's cool. Right, he's got 9 BP. Wait, so you're saying he escaped, then came back, and left his bracelet here? No, that's impossible too. Zero Jr. said the number 9 door only opens once. Even if he was able to get outside, he couldn't come back in.
Why do you have to be so pessimistic?
I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate here. Trying to prove a point that it could be either way. We can't be too happy, but yeah, you're right. This might not all be bad news. Still, I'm wary.
Have you actually seen Quark dead? Huh?
But no, I haven't. But have you seen where we are? Like, there's no good news here, okay? At all. It feels like we're surrounded by misery, and sadness, and death, and tragedy.
You need to think positive, Sigma. Reality is what we believe it to be.
Reality is often disappointing. Really? So you're saying this is what we wanted to happen?
That's enough!
Okay, Big Fi. Alright, take it easy.
Quark is definitely alive.
How do you know he's definitely alive?
He has to be. He has to be. I refuse to believe he isn't. I can't let an innocent kid like that get killed.
What do you mean? I wanted to ask if she meant Clover and Tenmyoji weren't innocent, and had deserved to die, but swallowed my words. Fighting wasn't going to help us. All I could do was hope that Fi was right. Perhaps Quark was still alive. Perhaps Quark isn't even innocent. The boy's so suspicious. What are you doing?
Examining their bodies.
He's as suspicious as a cardboard box in a Metal Gear game.
Tenmyoji first.
Why?
Clues.
What kind of clues?
To who might have killed them. Finding Quark's bracelet tells us something. If the killer saw it, that would make for an obvious motive.
With Quark's bracelet, Clover and Tenmyoji would have been able to go through the white doors. These handcuffs, where are they from? The killer handcuffed them to the sink to prevent that.
Right. That's my guess, at least.
Where did the handcuffs come from?
That's odd.
What's wrong?
I can't find anything.
Huh?
I should have found something.
What?
You remember when we ran into Tenmyoji in the rec room?
Yeah?
He sprayed our wrists with luminol. I'm sure I saw him pull the spray bottle out of his pocket.
And now you can't find it.
Right.
Do you think the killer took it? Does that mean Dio took it? Dio's the killer?
I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at Clover, too. Give me a minute.
Vi knelt down next to Clover as she spoke, and began to gingerly examine her corpse. Then after a moment I saw her hands stop.
Look. See your thigh? Doesn't it look like there's something written there?
She wrote something in blood on her thigh? Yeah, it does.
Sorry, I'll have to move your leg a little bit.
It's written in blood. What does it mean? 16. 0 pounds. Olb. Must be 10 Miyujis.
It says 016.
Right. What does that mean?
Hang on. I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
016.
016. 016.
Well, I feel like I've seen it somewhere now.
I know I've seen it somewhere.
Is that the point arrangement for one of the groups? Someone had 6 points, someone had 1 point, someone had 0 points. 016. 016.
It's no use.
016.
Can't remember.
Don't get my hopes up like that.
Anyway, these numbers have to have something to do with the killer.
Are we sure that's 6?
She must have written them after she got hit with a soparil. There would have been a few minutes before she went all the way under when she could have done something. I think she probably used those last minutes to tell the rest of us who'd killed her.
Maybe it's 910. But then it wouldn't make sense for her to write it upside down, would it? 016, huh? Maybe. 016. Dio, of course. It's Dio. That's what it means. Dio. Maybe, but the only people who could have done it are Kay and Dio. Assuming it wasn't one of us, I mean.
No. There's also Quark. I mean, I'm not saying he did it, just...
It's just backwards. Like 11037, right? Damn it. This is hopeless. I can't keep up anymore. Everything here is a goddamn mystery. Like, what about the old woman we found? Who killed her? The movement of the AB rooms makes Luna seem the most suspicious. But when would she have done it? And we don't have a good explanation for why she would have wrapped the knife up in her handkerchief. In the handkerchief, I should say. And of course, now Luna's dead too. So who could have killed her? The footage from the security camera paired with Dio's behavior makes Clover seems like the likely suspect. But now we'll never know for sure. Alice's killer is a complete mystery. We don't know what the hell 016 is supposed to mean. We don't have any idea where Quark's gone. What the hell does any of this mean? This is like the most hopeless of the flows. We've got like no answers. But, well, we know some because we've been on other flows. Who killed everyone? Was it Zero? Zero Senior? And who is Zero Senior? What the hell does he want? Why does this game even exist? And why do they kidnap us and bring us here? While we're at it, where is this? When is this? Mysteries. 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 I feel like my head is about to explode. Please, Vi. Give me something. Anything. A clue. A hint. Come on, you have to have something.
The luminol.
What about it? Huh?
I think there's a very good chance someone took the spray bottle out of Tenmyoji's pocket.
And it's on that person? So if we just say, yo, Dio, K, empty your pockets, please. We're gonna find the luminol in them? Okay, but how's that important? Surely Dio disposed of it. Surely. There would be no reason whatsoever to keep it in their pocket.
Well, let me ask you this. Why do you think they took it?
So they could test for blood?
What would they need to do in order to do that?
Lights off. They just need to spray the bottle at whatever they want to test.
That's it?
No. Wait, you're right. Luminol reacts with organic compounds and glows. But the glow is really faint. So you need to make it dark. You have to turn off the lights in order to see if anything's glowing.
And that would mean?
That would mean whatever happened in the rec room. The lounge? Maybe? No, not the lounge. I don't think you can turn the lights off in the lounge. The rec room! Fi and I raced for the door. We weren't sure what we'd find, but we knew where we were going. I had a feeling deep in my gut that whatever we found would be the breakthrough I'd been looking for. But there's plenty of luminol in the rec room. Why would they need to take it off Tin Muji? I suppose we'll find out. Let's go. Race to the rec room. Sorry. I can't stop. Won't stop. So much things going down. I need the answers right now. I can't afford to take another break. We're going to play into the night. Ladies and gentlemen, we're playing for keeps. And information. On the move. Interesting. Surely Dio didn't think he was going to get away with this. He's been killing people left, right, and center. Alright, we're here. Still luminol in the fridge. Oh, for God's sake. Shit. What the fuck? Everything in my head ground to a halt. Even after all I'd seen, a room full of corpses had a profound effect. Even through Kay's armor. It was such a ridiculous thought that before I could stop myself, I laughed. That laugh made me think. Was laughter in this situation a defensive response designed to protect a brain from constant emotional bombardment? They say that right before an animal dies, it feels a moment of comfort. Right before death, the brain releases a huge amount of endorphins into the bloodstream. Bloodsteam. Wow, that's intense. Pain is only a warning signal meant to help the body avoid death. But when death becomes a certainty, pain no longer has any use. In fact, the loss of pain can lead to incredible feats on the edge of death. Let's say that two species of animal come under attack from some overwhelming force. All of them are severely wounded and near death. Species A feels pain, but Species B doesn't. The horrible pain felt by Species A prevents them from moving. But because they feel no pain, some of Species B will manage to drag their wounded bodies to safety and survive. As a result, Species A is eliminated, and only Species B manages to survive. This process of natural selection has been repeated for millions of years. All creatures that walk the face of the earth are descended from Species B. Thanks, Sigma, for this scientific lesson on natural selection and all. But I really want to know what the hell's going on! I'm no exception. That's why I can look at a room full of corpses and laugh. The genes I've been given by a million years of evolution have changed my fear into ecstasy. I guess this means you and I are the only survivors.
Don't make me keep saying it. Quark's still out there somewhere.
And he's very likely the killer right now at this point. Somehow, wielding a gigantic axe. Yeah, you're right. He is still out there. So would that mean he killed them? I mean, you said yourself that there was no way there was a 10th uninvited player out there when Alice was killed. And we've also refuted the possibility of Zero Senior being the 10th person. There is no 10th person. The only people alive are you, me, and Quark. That means...
You're being ridiculous. Look at their bodies. There's an axe buried in Kay's back, and the spear has been thrust all the way through Dio's stomach.
I know. But this room... You can do things with those guys. But you are right, it's kind of far-fetched that Quark did this, but maybe he found a way, I don't know.
Do you really think a child Quark's size could do that?
Alright then. Are you saying you killed them? No,
Are you insane?
She's been with us the entire time, unless you're talking about the security room where we briefly passed out. She somehow escaped, killed everyone, came back, pretended to be on the computer for a while, saw us waking up.
And just when would I have done that? I've been with you this whole time.
She was right. After the end of the second round of the A-B game, fine, I hadn't been out of each other's sight. Except for when we passed out on the couch, right? Sofa. We'd gone through the white door, explored the security office, solved puzzles, all of it together. No, wait. There had been one time. One time, when I wasn't watching. The few minutes in the security office when I'd rested on the couch. Could she have snuck out then? The rec room and the security office weren't that far away from one another. If the round trip took about a minute, and she'd killed them in 4 minutes, then the whole thing would have only taken her 5 minutes. We don't know how long we were out for, surely. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, huh? Just how long had I been out? No, that wasn't really right. I hadn't really been out. I just felt like everything was being fast-forwarded, probably because my mental processing speed had dropped. But how long had I been like that? It might have only felt like a few seconds to me, but it could have been much longer. And where had something like mental processing speed dropping come from? Hey, what you doing there, Fi?
Checking their bodies like before. I decided to start with Dio.
Find anything? His bracelet's still on. Surprised it hasn't buckled off and fallen to the ground.
Yeah, 2 things actually.
Oh?
Take a look at this.
Myrmidons. Yeah. It's Dio's knife.
Yeah.
There's something engraved on the blade too. Myrmidons. Is that the name of the manufacturer?
Dunno. It's not a name I've ever heard of before.
Until we jump to that flow.
But look at the handle. You've seen it before, right?
Yeah. This is the knife that was stabbed into Alice's chest.
Right.
So Dio killed Alice. No. She must have found it in the handkerchief. Maybe she got infected, stabbed herself.
From the looks of it, I guess the blade is about 15 centimeters long. I'd say it's probably about 3 centimeters tall and 3 millimeters wide.
Is this the same knife that was stabbed into Tenmuji's hand? Probably. I think I've heard those numbers before.
Like, wound cavity, 150 millimeters. Wound length, 30 millimeters. Wound width, 3 millimeters.
Yeah, that's it. When Luna scanned the old woman's body, those were the numbers it gave us for the wound. Right.
Right. Well, wound cavity would be the depth of the wound.
So we found the murder weapon of the old lady. Belongs to Dio. Okay, we knew that, but nice to see it coming up in this flow as well.
Wound length would be how long it is from top to bottom, and wound width would be how wide the flat end of the wound is.
We should have used the atom on Clover and Tenmuji.
In other words...
Those numbers describe the size and shape of the wound, right?
Right.
So if they match, then that means this knife was used to kill the old woman.
Well, I was just eyeballing those measurements, so we can't be sure.
Still, why does Dio have it?
He must have... gotten it from Alice.
Yeah, I know that. What I mean is, why'd he take it? Did he want to destroy the evidence? Maybe he was the one who killed Alice.
That would match up with what we saw.
No, wait. Hold on a second. I'm getting confused here. Alice would have had that knife first, right? She picked it up when she found it wrapped in the handkerchief next to the AB room. Yeah.
Right.
So Dio took it from her and stabbed her? If that's what happened, why didn't he just take the knife then? Exactly, because he didn't stab her. She did it to herself. Why leave it there for us to see, then come back and get it later?
Well, we can look into that more later. First, I want you to have a look at something else.
What?
Don't you remember what I said?
2 things.
I found 2 things. There was the knife and... this.
That. Hey, this is that key.
What do you mean, that key?
In the Golem Bay. We found it in the Golem Bay. Didn't have any idea what it was for then, though. But Alice said it might be important, so she'd hang on to it just in case.
So, Alice should have had this, right?
Right. Yeah.
And now Dio's got it.
So Dio had it. Interesting. Yeah.
So when Dio took the knife, he also took Kay's key.
Kay's key. Wait. Kay's key?
Oh man.
Didn't skip a beat, Sigma.
You couldn't figure it out from the shape?
What do you mean?
Get over here. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Let me show you.
She walked over to Kay's head, knelt down on one knee, and pointed to the back of it.
You remember this, right?
Oh yeah. So that's it. It unlocks the suit, right?
Yeah. Let's give it a shot.
Okay. Oh man, this is gonna be scary. Before I had time to prepare myself, I shoved the key into the slot and twisted. But... What? Jammed?
It's no good. Can't get it open.
Really? Why not?
Maybe the suit is powered, and it needs to be on in order to open.
Right, so because he's dead, it won't open?
But with this axe in here...
You're saying it shorted the suit out or something?
I think so.
Oh, great.
At any rate, the key fits perfectly. I don't have any doubt it's for removing Kay's suit.
So we'd never know who his real identity would be in this flow, huh? Do you think Dio knew that when he took it?
I wonder...
So I guess we'll never know what his face really looks like.
Yeah. No way we can get that mask off with our bare hands.
I wonder who he was.
Well, I still haven't checked him over. Let's have a look. Maybe we'll find something that'll tell us who he is.
Okay. She'd only been searching for a few seconds before she stopped and pulled something out of Kay's robes.
Look.
What is it?
A spray bottle with luminol in it.
That's the one Tenmyuji had.
Yeah.
Then... does that mean Kay was the one who handcuffed them to the sink?
We don't know yet.
Why not?
Kay might have taken the spray from Tenmyuji after he died. It's possible he made it through the white doors before we did, went to the infirmary and got this.
Ugh.
Anyway, there's something I want to see. Turn off the lights.
Are you going to check for a luminol reaction?
Yeah. If Kay used the spray before he died, we might still be able to see it.
There's blood everywhere in here, though.
That's okay. If he didn't spray it, there won't be a reaction from any of it. Come on.
Right.
Alright, do it.
Switching lights off. Done.
Thanks. Just as I thought. Look, Dio's left wrist.
No, so it is still on. It just didn't fall to the ground. The underside of his bracelet is glowing.
Exactly.
But why?
Because there are traces of blood on it.
Whose blood?
We've seen 5 people with serious bleeding. The old woman, Alice, Tenmyuji, and these 2 here. I'm disinclined to think this is Dio or Kay's blood, though. See? If you look, it's been wiped off. Except for the luminol, the bracelet looks clean. Why would someone wipe blood off a bracelet after being hit with an axe or stabbed with a spear, and then spray it with luminol? It doesn't make sense.
Then that leaves the old woman, Alice, and Tenmyuji.
Right.
Do you remember what Tenmyuji said to us in this room?
Can I see the other side of your bracelets? Please, just do it.
Do you think Tenmyuji had figured out that one of the bracelets would have blood on it?
That would have meant he was looking for either Alice's blood or the old woman's.
I wonder which it was.
No idea. But whatever the case, Tenmyuji seemed to think that whoever had this bracelet was Zero Sr.
Just relax, okay? That's all I needed to know. Neither one
What?
of you is Zero Senior.
Are you saying that because there wasn't any reaction from the luminol?
That's because he thought Zero Senior is the one who killed the old woman.
Yeah?
Well, wait. Are you saying that Dio is Zero Senior?
I don't know. The only thing I can say for sure is that there's a possibility that Dio killed the other 6
I'm
victims.
just worried for our safety, you know. We're the only 2 left. At this rate, we don't know where Quark is. Then who killed Dio?
Kay, perhaps?
Then who killed Kay?
After he was attacked, he used the last of his strength.
To thrust a spear into Dio onto the wall? Another descendant of Species B.
Huh?
Nothing. Forget about it. Anyway, if Zero Senior was Dio, then...
All of this would be over. This awful game would be over.
An Ambidex gate has been opened.
That is creepy as fuck.
45 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Well, there's only one person it could be. What? What the hell is happening? That's impossible.
Quark.
Quark? Quark opened a gate?
Whatever. We need to get back to the Floor A warehouse. Hurry!
I know, I'm coming. This could be a trap. A lure. Run. I was so inclined to end the episode right there, but I just feel like that would be a bad spot to end it. So we're gonna keep going. This is probably gonna be split into 2. Oh boy, what's going on now? Let's make sure we don't get clotheslined on the way into the warehouse. I feel like Quark, or whoever it is going to expect us coming. Here we go. Jeez. It's open. But there's nobody inside. Damn it! There's no one here. Did they run off?
Why would they run away?
Because this is a trap. They lured us back here. Hell if I know. How the hell did Quark open an AB gate anyway? Without a star key, he shouldn't have been able to get it open. That's true. Unless they have access to everything in the facility.
You must have taken one from Dio or Kay before we got to the rec room.
Of course, they would have had one as well.
We know they went through a white door. Remember? We saw the footage in the security office.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
That means they had a star key just like we did.
But you didn't find one when you searched them?
Right.
Well, maybe Quark's a suspect after all, then. You should write him off. You shouldn't write him off just because he's a kid. Maybe he knows how to use a lance or an axe.
That's impossible. You're being an idiot.
How is that impossible, okay? I've seen you literally jump into the sky. If there was a sky here. Okay? Nothing's impossible. Not here. Not now.
It's much more likely he found the key card after they died.
Why are you so convinced that Quark is innocent and that you have to save him? Oh. Alright, let's go find him.
Any ideas where to look?
Nothing. How on earth would I know where he might be?
Well, there's one place I'd like to check out. Come on.
Do you know something I don't? Why open that random AB gate and then disappear? Security room. The room Dio and Kay investigated.
Right. Aren't you curious?
What did they investigate, I wonder? Of course! Besides, Quark might be there.
Yeah.
Alright, let's move. Here we go. Director's office. The door says Director's office.
Probably belongs to the director.
Yeah, good one. I know we've been doing a lot of detective work lately, Fi, but come on. That's a bit of a stretch. You really think this is the director's office? I hope it has one of those chairs.
Chairs?
You know, the tall black leather ones that you can spin around in and say, I've been expecting you. You know, the folding ones that say director on the back. Oh, these ones. I've always wanted to sit in one and say stuff like, action, or cut, or double decaf chai soy latte, now.
And that's what you think we'll find in there?
Yeah, this is all one big movie. This is all one gigantic fiction. Yeah, aren't you excited?
Well, there could be anything in there. So, no, not really.
Sigma's literally species B, psychopathic version. Yeah, what if Zero Senior was in there waiting for us?
That would make things easy. We'd settle things right now and then get the hell out.
Well, he's settled a lot of things with a lot of different people, looks like. Right. Okay, I'm gonna open it.
You don't need to keep asking me if...
Alright. Fine. I don't need your permission. Whoa. What have we got in here? ID, password. Huh?
There's no one here.
That computer's been turned on.
Yeah, maybe Dio and Kay did that.
There we go. Lion's eating a sun again. The hell is this?
A lion.
Is biting.
A sun?
It has a couple input fields for a user ID and a password.
We probably can't use it unless we know what those are.
Why don't you put something in?
Sure, I'll give it a shot. Yeah, just as I thought.
What is that?
Might as well forget about this thing for now.
I might have something that can unlock it, you know. Milk Evoli.
We can't get anywhere without a password. Let's see if we can find any other clues.
How'd you know that was the username?
This is the director's office after all.
Because there were three...
If we turn the place upside down, we're bound to find something.
There were 3 segments of 3 different things, right? I've got 3 letters. 3 sets of 3 letters.
Shall we?
Wait, you want to solve this room now? If I turned and headed off toward a bookshelf, leaving me alone next to the desk. I felt compelled to stay, and found myself staring at the screen. A lion biting the sun. A lion biting the sun. A lion biting the sun. Memento Mori, if the 9th lion ate the sun. Remember death. If the 9th lion ate the sun. Could this be the 9th lion? Then maybe... Memento Mori. Remember death. Memento Mori. Remember death. This is a different flow. Memento Mori. Remember death. Memento Mori. Remember. This is a to be continued, right? Or it's supposed to be. But I have the password, don't I? Well, I have the password, but I don't think I've got the user ID. Ugh. Remember death. Nope. Ugh. Kiv. Maybe let's just repeat it. It's not working. Remember death. If the lion... So... Damn it. Remember death if the lion ate the sun. Remember death if the lion ate the sun. If the 9th lion ate the sun. Shit. What does it mean? I can't remember the ID. Or I don't know what the ID is. It was no good. I didn't know anything. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd seen the ID and password somewhere before.